if Melanie stays muscle bound for the rest of this game, this goes from, ooh, it's darkened.
Wasn't that so much fun? Riddis can hardly contain her excitement as she seeks a similar reaction from Melanie.
Oh.
Sure, Melanie croaks, her face a sickly shade of green. The custom Riddis turns to you and carries on, oblivious. Wasn't that just the greatest?
The custom supplement has worn off completely. Oh, it was so funny, but I understand. What happened on me? Holy
you,
shit.
However, are a bit worn out, as your mid-voyage teasing of Melanie prompted her to wring you like a rag.
Okay, that's worth it.
Your first order of business should be a sweep of the island to ascertain the dragon's whereabouts. Tread carefully, as danger lies in the unknown. A road stretches west from the docks, suggesting the presence of a house or settlement at the other end.
Okay, follow the path. So we're going to follow the path, we're going to get to the town. I'm not going to do anything else there.
You take the lead, taking in the island's scenery. It all looks unsettlingly familiar to you. A white-hot streak of pain shoots through your head, feeling as though your skull will split in two. You grab your head as if holding it together and drop to your knees. The searing pain erases any hope of recalling the memory that felt primed to return to you. Beads of sweat are pouring off you now as you struggle to keep your head in one piece. Drink this, Bruno insists, offering you a bottle of headache curative. You greedily drink it down, desperate for relief. The pain begins to ebb, and you hurriedly resolve to press on.
No. No more enemies. I mean, it's fine. No, unfortunately we don't have a buff hero. Whoa! These are cool. That weird doom slime. They're also really fast, which is a concern. I think I'm going to try and preemptively paralyze this thing. Yep. There should be a buff Melanie DLC. Honestly, I would pay for a buff party DLC that just makes every single party member ridiculously buff. But yeah, it's like a creepy mouse slime.
That was lucky.
There we go. Okay, luckily... Oh, you know what? I bet this slime is weak to light magic. More than anything else. I'll try fire, though, just in case. My voice has maybe about 10 more minutes before it's
Good
gone.
work.
Only DLC 1 needs is replace all with Mar. Oh, man. No, it would be Mar cosplaying as each of the characters. So you'd still have Melanie and all of the characters.
After a time, you happen upon a village. This place, you mutter unconsciously.
Mar coos softly, but doesn't quite sound himself.
Perhaps he is as anxious as you are about this place. You two okay? Melanie asks. You open your mouth to reply. Only to notice the ambush a moment too late. Repel the monster attack.
You know, I just realized with the harpy, their arms are just teeny little wings, and then they've got hella butt wings going on instead. You know what? It's fine. Hey, thank you, Hagishino, for the 12-month resub. Last year's been cursed. I blame this sub, but that doesn't mean I'm ending it anytime soon. Thank you. Also, I'm sorry to hear that. All allies land critical attacks. Hell yeah! Alright. So I'm going to try and paralyze this guy. There we go.
That was lucky.
Big crit. Nice Zephyr. And I noticed the Harpy is holding like a golden polearm axe thing of some sort. A crescent axe? I don't actually know what it's called. Oof. Never mind, not oof. We're damn strong.
Fortune favors the bold.
Gain 3 gems. Ah, we are no longer in Crit Town. But you know what? Honestly, all things considered, we don't need to be in Crit Town. I'm gonna just do a poison arrow on her. We're getting really lucky with a lot of our hits, though, which I'm kind of appreciative of. Let's probably just keep doing Zephyr. Okay, and she does lightning, which really does not actually hurt my party that much. We are decently strong. When they showed up, I was a little worried, but it was premature. Okay, now his paralysis is gone, but we're back to landing crits. Do we try and freeze it? No, I'm gonna go with the shockwave. I'm gonna do shockwave and then freeze if this doesn't land. Nope, there we go. Ogre Man just does not get a turn. I really like the happenstance. That's kind of a neat system of, like, changing the paradigm of a battle. So, like, it might have been challenging otherwise, but with us currently, it's just an absolute stomp fest.
Congrats.
Let's see, happenstance in battle is a really cool feature. There we go. Wonder if a crit guarantees the die lands on the highest number. That's an interesting question. I don't know about that. Hustle, recover 3 HP when attacking. That's a skill versus an ability? Because I know Deckard had, like, an actual ability. Tri-Blade. A lot of gems, though. I gotta check that. Because if I do setup, it's under abilities. Oh! So, Cornered Prey. 3 damage to target if afflicted by status ailment, immunity to poison and deadly poison, and lightning proof. So these are the abilities we've been picking up. Immunity to freeze, decrease fire damage by 5. Immunity to, well, not immunity, but resistance to all elemental effects, pretty much. I wish they marked them better. So waterproof, decrease water damage, immune to stat downs, and recover HP when attacking, which is pretty good. And then he's 3 HP after combat ends, and immunity to paralysis. I like those. I like the passives. Like, the characters really do feel quite distinct, which is huge for me.
You are accosted by a man the instant you set foot in the village. Medicine, please, he begs. His eyes are glazed over, and his general demeanor unsettling. Should he really have medicine?
Will you give him what he desires? Sure.
You give him a glimpse of the medicine. Nothing in this life is free, you sneer. Your callousness is swiftly punished as the medicine slips from your grasp and clatters to the ground. The man runs off to who knows where, making noises that can only be described as inhuman. You and the party resolve to continue exploring the village, despite the unsettling encounter that just occurred. Something is askew in this village. It would be best to proceed with caution until you can determine what is happening.
You cannot use the jump feature here. Tread carefully. Search for information. But I'm not here for information, old man.
Another villager approaches you. Though his speech is slurred, the demand remains the same: medicine. This villager is also behaving strangely. Will you acquiesce to his request?
Sure. I mean, here's the thing. I have so much medicine I don't know what to do with it. This helps me by getting rid of it.
Ritis briefly reveals the medicine under her cloak. Nothing in life is free, she says, clearly mocking your earlier blunder. Her fun is short-lived, as she too loses her grip on the medicine. Karma is cruel and indiscriminate. You could not help but notice the groans of medicine, sweet medicine, as he fled. Something's not right in this village, Bruno mutters, clearly worried. You hear a panicked cry up the road. Stay with me. Focus on me. That can't be good. You arrive on the scene to find a man collapsed in the street, convulsing. Another man kneels over him in an apparent attempt to provide comfort and care. The nobleman wears impressive white armor befitting a knight. He continues talking to the fallen man as he provides emergency care. Seeing the knight's devotion makes you feel a bit like a putz for doing nothing.
Offer the villager a custom supplement.
You ask Bruno to provide some of his custom supplement. He furrows his brow and solemnly shakes his head. The villager is now clawing at his own face with his fingernails, crying out for medicine. Blood, as black as tar, begins oozing out of his eyes, ears, and mouth. It proceeds to leak from every orifice imaginable. The convulsions subside. Within moments, the villager lies still.
Maybe I should not have shared
A horrific thought
medicine.
makes itself known. This is the first time you have witnessed the death of a fellow man. Even in a world where medicines and elixirs can cure most any ailment, none are safe from death's icy grip. And as well you know, that which is dead can never return. Your mind goes blank. You drop to your knees in shock. Melanie clamps her hand to her mouth, stifling a scream. Ritis shakes uncontrollably. The knight hangs his head. Bruno nervously asks, "What are you doing here?" The knight's name is Sherwin. He identifies himself as a member of the Ivory Order. His travels brought him to this village, where he has been caring for the ailing residents. His face contorts in disgust. If not for these foul drugs, they would be healed. He spits and takes his leave. Bruno gazes upon the villager's corpse with a look of apparent realization.
Well, at least this guy doesn't care. Hello, please sell me good armor. Oh, that's the good stuff. Look at this. Well, oh wow, yeah, that's a hefty boost. So we're just gonna equip my current main party, because I think I'm gonna run out of money. We also want to save up for 20,000 gold, but honestly, grinding to max level I think is gonna take longer anyway. So we'll just get what we can for now. But yeah, I wonder if these people are overdosing on salves, or the salves around here are weirdly tainted for some reason. I really like the card art in this game. I think I might retool what I've got set up for my like D&D campaigns and actually potentially use this system as a model and make literally everything cards. Okay, so we don't need a warrior's mail. We could give the warrior's mail to the archer. It's tempting. At the very least, we wanted to put it on Melanie, but I might want to put it on Ridis as well, just so Ridis remains faster. Let me check what else we got. No, the rest of these rings we do not need. Though we do want to buy one of every ring to get the full collection. But yeah, let's put this on Ridis as well. Get nice and fast. And we're good. Alright, so we are burly as heck. Our damage is insane. This should make things a lot easier. And we're good. Okay. Well, we have a lot to investigate. We apparently still have a fair ways to go on this game, which is good, actually. I was really afraid it was going to be over in that lighthouse. This explains so much more and gives a lot more time for characterization, which is nice. Alright, we are back, and I can't get out of this town. We got some NPCs to talk to, so hello?
You approach Sherwin, who was caring for another villager. Is every day like this, you inquire? According to the knight, an elderly man living just outside the village is typically the one who looks after its residents. You'd be best served asking him all your questions, Sherwin says as he returns to his patient.
Who is the patient?
The old man sighs, saying he lost both his son and grandson to the medicine. Not wanting to be the only one left behind, he lifts the bottle in his hand to his lips and gulps it down.
That sounds kind of terrible. Let's see. Happy Halloween. Wanderer shell and candy duty? No. We're just tired, and I just didn't want to, like, load up anything spooky, because I'm too tired for that. I just want to finish this. Because this game is too comfy.
You ask the villager about the dragon. The headman can help you if you're in some trouble, she retorts, doubling over to empty the contents of her stomach onto the street. Dozens of empty medicine bottles litter the ground in front of this woman.
I don't like this town. I don't like it either. This town is gross.
This cursed island is separated from the rest of the world, she mutters from the ground. I heard that outsiders call this place Mount Medica, she remarks, then throws the empty bottle in her hand to the roadside. You hail the villager, only to receive a blunt, "Go bother the village headman with your chatter," in return. The villager turns to face the wall once more, and smacks his head against it repeatedly. His forehead is soon covered in blood.
I don't like this place.
A man approaches you as you wander through the village. "Spare a bit of medicine?" he asks genially. He sets about convincing you that your kindness will be returned tenfold if you just give him a little from your pack. His silver tongue would put even the best salesman to shame. You reach for a bottle of medicine, completely taken in by his pitch. Bruno stills your hand. "I wouldn't do that if I were you."
Should you give him what he wants? No.
"Why do you want it so badly?" you ask, affording him another opening. He gladly takes it. He first came in contact with it as a child. His parents paid him no mind.
What? Oh gosh. A skipping stone. Didn't last. Couldn't play with him anymore. Said their goodbyes.
And never since forgot its wonderful taste.
But
you are fully invested in this story, and desperate to give the man some small comfort in this cruel, cruel world. You're primed and ready to hand it over. I've heard better sob stories, Melanie says dryly, having somehow absorbed the man's story, despite the blistering speed in which he delivered it. Bruno thinks you'd better not, but you're not so sure.
Oh, you give this man what he wants? No.
You heed Bruno's warning and return the medicine to your pack. The man's shoulders droop, and he shuffles off out of sight. He appears to have dropped something peculiar in his haste.
Oh, is it one of the cards? It is one of the cards. Number 8. I think I've missed a couple. We'll have to go back and figure out where the other ones are.
You had best get out of here quick, she cautions you. If you stay here, then you too will, she begins, then suddenly starts cackling.
Okay, do we have anything else here? Yes, one more person.
The man glares at you, clutching tight to countless medicine bottles in his hands. He insists that they all belong to him and refuses to share them with anyone.
Isn't the medicine distributed by the Ivory Order? You're right, but only in the other continent. I'm not actually sure what the deal is with this place yet.
You knock lightly on the door. An elderly man opens it, beaming at you.
He looks unhealthy. For me and everyone around him. He's got a sick robe, though.
He announces himself as Selfor and beckons you inside. Might he be the headman you've heard so much about? Ask me anything you like, he offers. Selfor receives your party, for whatever reason, rather graciously. He could well be a font of knowledge. What will you ask him?
What will you ask?
You ask if he has seen the dragon. Why, yes, he says. He returned to this island just the other day. Oh, but don't worry, he continues. He hasn't caused us too much trouble. Needless to say, this does not comport with your understanding of the dragon.
Ooh, that's a good word. Comport. I'm slowly compiling a list of words. I should have written the one down from the other day, but I'm compiling a list of words that I've learned specifically from Square Enix. Let's see. Comport. Cool. Yeah, so Shell and I have been playing Final Fantasy XIV on our own. Haven't been streaming it. Might at some point, maybe if people are interested enough, but I'm not sure. But, so every time we come across a new vocab word, we write it down. And at some point, I'm probably going to do a video on it, just for the hell of it, because why not?
You notice Melanie lift an eyebrow at his use of the word returned. At any rate, the dragon's presence on the island is confirmed. You quietly celebrate the first credible lead you've yet received.
Why haven't I heard of this game? It wasn't marketed particularly aggressively in the West. I haven't seen any trailers for it. It was just kind of a thing.
You ask if he is the one in charge of the village. It's true that the villagers call him their headman, but I feel compelled to correct the record and state that my official title is overseer.
That's worrying. What will you ask? Why does this place feel off?
You make mention of the village's eccentricities. Selfor informs you that the island indeed suffers from an extreme shortage of medicine. He apologizes for the villagers' incivility. Consider it the price to pay for making the world a better place, he adds nonsensically.
Is this a testing ground for medicines? For the Ivory Order?
Your questions satisfactorily answered. You thank Selfor and turn to leave. He asks you to stop. We have yet to discuss the terms of your living here, he declares.
How you respond?
You explain that you are only here to pursue the dragon and have no intention to stay. Selfor begs your forgiveness for thinking you were newcomers. It's perfectly understandable, though, what with the non-match among you, he says with a sneer.
Non-match?
What does he mean by that? Melanie asks you, unable to grasp the old man's intentions. For reasons unknown, you feel the blood drain from your face. Your breathing grows ragged and you break out in a sweat. We're done here, you say defiantly as you storm out of the house. Mar runs after you, chirping frantically.
Are we the non-match?
Melanie and the others give chase, but you and Mar are well out of sight by the time they make it outside.
Deckard and Mar
You
have left the
can't
party.
have gone far, though. It may be best to first search the village.
You may now use the jump ability. Is that gonna no longer use the menu? Whatever. Canvass the village of the sick in search of your scattered allies. Okay. I mean, I know where they are. They're out here. Anything else? No, I doubt it. Hello.
Melanie and company find you standing in front of a house. She can't quite make it out, but it sounds as though you're saying to Mar, "This place." Melanie calls out to you, prompting you to blurt out, sorry, just had a bad stomach ache back there," in your characteristically glib manner.
Let's see. Can't make it out, but it sounds as though you're saying to Mar, "This place is." Mar chirps skeptically. Melanie opens her mouth to speak. Yeah, go on.
She
with this one.
surveys you both and sees two haggard travelers unwilling to admit they're in need. "Are you sure you're all right?" she asks, concerned. "Fine, absolutely fine," you tell her, perhaps too eagerly. "So you were worried about me," you shoot back. "No, I wasn't," she replies, her face reddening.
Deckard and Mar rejoin the party. Oh, but there's somebody behind us. Finish your investigation in the village of the sick. What about the abandoned
There isn't
home?
a soul about. The house is surely abandoned.
Hello.
You spot a familiar-looking mage on the village streets. Winifred takes no notice of you and ducks into the apothecary. "So, the Ivory Order buys their medicine just like everybody else," you muse to yourself as you prick up your ears and listen carefully. Winifred and the apothecary speak in hushed tones. You'd guess it's an order for special medicine, but you can't make it out. Alas, she's just buying the usual stuff. Nothing remotely interesting about that. Though her presence suggests that other members of the Order might also be in town. With no desire to run into them, you make yourself scarce before she catches sight of you.
Okay, so I don't think we're going to be able to avoid the old mage. Oh well.
You spy the very people you were hoping to avoid, gathered near the village gate. "The last thing we need is a confrontation," you mutter, spying them from the shadows. "Why are we always hiding?" Melanie hisses under her breath. Two members of the Order are speaking with Sherwin. Given how deferential they appear to be acting toward him, you hazard a guess that he's their superior. "Have you determined the dragon's location?" Sherwin asks. Hedwin launches into his report. The dragon appears to be occupying the volcano. I suggest we move to capture him immediately, he counsels. Now who should appear but Winifred, fresh from her shopping excursion. Preparations for our journey into the volcano are complete, she reports, handing Sherwin a bottle of something. Splendid. Sherwin walks off and out of sight, the other three following close behind. Lucky for you, your hastily improvised hiding spot afforded you valuable information on the dragon. Yet their conversation raised as many questions as it answered.
Capture the dragon. What about the bottle? How do we get to the volcano? Capture the dragon?
There was talk of capturing the dragon. Melanie picked up on the incongruity as well. The queen ordered the dragon killed, she reminds you. The medicine bottle Sherwin received is probably related to their journey into the volcano somehow. Bruno recalls seeing a bottle much like it once before. He says it contains flash freeze, which can chill most anything. Maybe that's what Winifred bought at the apothecary, Bruno continues.
How do we get to the volcano?
You know that the dragon is lurking in the volcano, but you haven't a clue how to get from here to there. Isn't it that mountain with all the smoke pouring out of it? Ridis asks, pointing westward. Why, yes, that sure does look rather like a volcano. You narrow your eyes. You three have no right being this helpful, you think? Mar pinches your cheeks without warning. You yelp in pain, which at the very least crosses dreaming off the list of explanations. Returning to the matter at hand, it's clear what must be done. You'll have to get your hands on some flash freeze if you hope to enter the volcano.
Okay, let's see if they even let me.
Happen to have any flash freeze for sale? You cheerily ask the apothecary. She flashes a wry smile. How do you steady the roiling magma's flow? She asks cryptically. The meaning behind the question is utterly lost on you. She needs a password, Melanie mutters over your shoulder. The answer then would be the password. So, how do you steady the roiling magma's flow?
The password is... Special medicine, flowing water, cold ice. Special medicine.
The old woman rolls her eyes, suddenly looking defeated. How did you know the answer? Did someone tell you? She mutters bitterly.
Haha! Flash freeze. Handle with care. Buy. Looks like I can only buy one. Maybe I only need to buy one. And it's sold out. Do they sell anything else? Maybe Unsealer? I don't know how much we need to worry about this, though. If I remember right, status effects go away after battles, so...
You've managed to crack the code, and a bottle of flash freeze is yours. At last, you are ready to enter the vault. You've got a long road ahead of you, so you had best be prepared.
Okay, journey to the volcano west of the village, find the dragon. I'm fat thumbing it a little bit. Yeah, flash freeze definitely does sound hella dangerous. Like, you drop it, whoops, suddenly everybody's a popsicle. 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 Sorry, the Bug Snacks announcement has infected my brain, and I haven't recovered. Oh well. I know Bug Snacks is getting some new things added to it. Is it being added to it, or is it more of like a... Is it like a DLC, or is it a full-on sequel? Because I wasn't entirely clear on that. Because it certainly sounded like they were adding a lot. Like a whole new island and stuff. Because I haven't actually seen the announcement yet. You know, the interesting thing is... Okay, they're calling it a DLC. Okay. Yeah, what was I gonna say? We missed Swole Witch. I do too. Swole Witch was great. A very confusing prospect, but great all the same. Ah, no dice. Ow. That actually hurt. I'm just gonna see if I can get rid of the dark slime. Ooh, it is weak to fire. Good to know. Let's see, I'm not sure. I know it's free and something to do with bigger bug snacks. I didn't realize it was free. I don't know. I feel like developers should charge more. I feel like that's kind of antithetical to what most people want. But it's like, if you're gonna go through all of this work and spend like more than a year on it, like you should charge for it. I think the point is specifically they might... Ooh, Supreme Salve. They might be trying to have the new DLC coincide with a Steam release or something. Because I know that's not uncommon where it's like... You know, oh, hey, our game's coming out on Steam. Big new update. Not in the same vein. I'm really... I don't know. I'm hoping PC gets the... Let's just hit this with a loose arrow. That should be enough. Yeah. I'm hoping PC gets the... Death Stranding director's cut. Because for whatever reason, I've really been, like, kind of wanting to give it a shot. I probably should have gone for the heavy hit. Oh, well, it's fine. He's not going to survive. There we go. What was I going to say? What was I saying? DLCs. Oh, right. The Death Stranding director's cut. I don't know. Excellent. I just never played it, and I keep, like, hearing things about it. I'm like, maybe I should just put time into it at some point. I like free updates, but good DLCs are certainly worth the money. I just want developers to have enough funding that they can continue to make good games. That too many developers have to leave the market after just a year. Or not a year, after one release, if even. And I find, like, most developers don't really hit their stride until they're, like, second or third game, sometimes. Like, name brand recognition and whatnot really is kind of important. You wouldn't expect it exactly, but it's like, what's a good example? I mean, even this game, to some degree, is kind of just living purely on its own name brand recognition. And less so for marketing. But if they did another one of these... Oh, did I miss? I missed. If they did another one of these games, I can only assume it would actually have, like, a decent following behind it, and that would give it more momentum for another one. I wonder how the Tokyo RPG Factory games sold. Come to think of it, because those are that might actually be the exception that kind of disproves the rule that I'm coming up with here. But yes, Hades and Supergiant come to mind. Exactly. Like, I know Bastion did very well, but I feel like Supergiant was kind of slowly working themselves up in terms of popularity. Ooh. Ow. Supergiant has just been kind of working themselves up the popularity rankings. Until they could, well, until they finally put out Hades, at which point they had the pre-existing name brand recognition and the sheer quality that, you know, makes everybody interested in it. Yeah, that's gotta be a gib. That's a big gib.
You did great.
And so whatever Supergiant makes from now on is most likely going to be a banger purely based on its own, like, weight of pedigree and, I mean, once again, name brand recognition.
Not even a rock climber.
Oh, it's a bizarre rock.
The bizarre rock transformed into a gold rock.
Hell yeah. I need like 20,000 gold. I wanted to see if there was like an EXP hack that I could turn on to just give me double for the duration of tonight, just to speed things along a little bit. Because I very much do want to get up to max level if I can, but I do not know how much grinding that's going to take. I'm just going to poison this sucker. Nope. I'm going to try and poison this sucker. I'm going to try and freeze this sucker. I want a game like this, but with Gen Z's art and Darren Korb's music. Yeah. The thing is, like, I feel like whoever they got to do the art for this game did a fine job of it. I don't know. I would love to see Supergiant tackle deck building as like a game idea. I know Transistor had kind of, sort of, some weird ideas that are sort of tangential to that sort of thing. Dang, I am just absolutely, just whiffing it here. Oh well, it's fine. It's not like these guys actually do a whole lot of damage to me. I say as they do a lot of damage to me. Okay, well, if we can get rid of Big Bruiser... you kidding me? He's dodged, like, every single one of the hits I've thrown at him from her. I wonder why. The curse of the tongue, it's true. That's okay. Now we can work on healing. Probably, maybe. Yeah, Supergiant always blends such interesting genres. I'm sure they blend deck building with something else in a wonderful way. I think it'd do whatever, and I think it'd be lovely. Wow, that was piss poor. Oh, gosh. Rude.
Good work.
Well, it does kill itself. You know, honestly, if there's an enemy to do that, that would be the one. Membrane. Oh, just 2 HP after the turn ends. Nice. The only Supergiant game I don't like is the weird sports one that they did. Pyre, I think, might actually be my favorite. I didn't like the sports part, but the thing I liked about Pyre that made it so dang good was the, like, visual novel bits and the lore. Like, of all of the Supergiant games, no, I think every single one of them, except for Hades, I'd be up for, like, a sequel of. But I feel like Pyre had the most interesting world design. Transistor, I don't think you got to see enough of it. I'm not going that direction. There we go. Well, I found the volcano.
Thunder roars overhead. Watch out for lightning. You and your friends are lucky enough to make it through without being struck by lightning once.
But, like, even if you didn't like Pyre, I would recommend still trying it on easy if you haven't. And just kind of blazing through.
You journey onward, only to see a suspicious-looking elder appear before you, a bottle of medicine dangling from his waist. He proclaims himself a man of medicine who has discovered a revolutionary new curative, he would have one of your party drink it as a test. There's no harm in trying it, he boldly claims. Well?
Will someone test this new brew? Drink it yourself.
You take the stranger at his word and drink one of the bottles dry. Everything in view is suffused with a soft light, and it is magnificent. Everyone looks so lovely. You have to tell everyone how wonderful it is just to be alive. The reverie slowly fades. How long were you smitten? You can't say for sure. But everyone has taken a step or 3 back, and they all look deeply worried. After a long silence, the doctor of sorts speaks. I must confess, I had no idea it would have such a profound effect on one's character, he says in quiet. Be that as it may, he seems pleased to have seen any effect at all. He hands you a gift for the trouble and walks off in high spirits.
I see. Right, he says in quiet disbelief. I've been fat thumbing it today because my hands are tired. My every bit of me is tired. Is what it is. Okay. Doesn't look like there's much to do around here. I'm gonna keep wandering around. A merchant selling goods. Take a peek at her wares. It's probably potion stuff again. It'd be nice if it was gear. Yeah, here's the thing. I'm pretty much full up on items, so unless she has something incredibly cool. Nope. So what is up here? It's certainly mountainous. Okay, there is something here. Enemies or otherwise.
About the enemy.
Okay, and this thing's weak to fire. There we go. Yeah, card number 9. I feel like we're missing a number of the mystery cards too. I've got to figure out where they are. I'm mostly interested in I don't want to say completionism, but like looking around for the time being. Verisok, you said you just beat this today. How much further do I have story-wise after the Town of Illness or whatever? And is there a good like point of no return that I can look at? Oh, I know how I can do turbo grinding if I want to do turbo grinding. Let's just shoot one of these guys. Yeah. Nothing wrong with exploring. I mean, there is technically if it ends up getting me stuck. How long is this game? I think it's like 10 to 11 hours. It is a really short JRPG by most metrics. But honestly, like, I've been playing a lot of short JRPGs recently. And there's something really charming about it. Like, sure, it's not going to win any awards, but I'm still going to remember this better than a lot of the other ones that I've been playing as well. Because, yeah, I mentioned, I think at the beginning of this, but also just talking about it yesterday, that I've been playing Final Fantasy... I've been playing Final Fantasy 3 on my own. And I've been enjoying it thoroughly. But the game has, like, no meat to it, if that makes sense. You know, that there's barely any major NPCs. The plot is super thin, and, like, there's a lot of other stuff.
And fight.
And it very much strikes me as the kind of game that was, I don't want to say bit off too much. Because I mean, it was like an NES game or a Famicom game or something to that extent. You know, not exactly, should not be judged, I guess, by the same metrics that its successors have been. but that it very much felt like it would have actually been quite the incredible game had they just kind of kept it smaller in scope. Maybe not. I don't know. I guess just thinking about, like, going back to the topic about developers charging more for big updates or free DLCs and whatnot, that I often feel like games need to be smaller, more compact, and more, like, I don't want to say reasonable with what they've packed into them.
Large boulders block the path before you. Alas, you must turn back.
Okay, so the volcano probably is not the end of this game.
Looks like it's too early.
Wow, yeah, this whole whatever, oh my gosh, it's huge. It just keeps going. That's probably the end.